services with Uber and DoorDash. Check us out on Instagram at CB_Jerk Center. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York.
Honey, you know, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company do you use to send it off?
We use the same company. When we use last year, no. I want to do it now.
You say, honey, you know you drink too much. I bet definitely your mother you'd use the right company.
Simpson Shipping Enterprise. Weekly sailing to all destinations. In Jamaica, they go to Kingston and Montego Bay. Also ship to Europe and South America, East Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. We offer door-to-door service to Jamaica, Guyana, and England. Simpson Shipping Enterprise, 17 Mount Vernon Avenue, New York. Telephone 914-663-9216 or 914-663-9218.
Yeah, go on like a yeah, mama. You feel me, mama? I remember telling you something. You see Simpson Shipping? Then go Jamaica, Kingston, and Montego Bay, all over the Caribbean Islands.
Oh, plead my cause, oh, Jah. I don't know Julex I represent for Linkage Radio. 104.5 FM. I deaf them.
New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699-1349. We also do delivery from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have the most Jamaican flavors: grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and razor, Jamaican rum and razor, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stout ice cream cake, peach grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door. When you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, roast fish, fried fish, and roast corn, contact me at 914-699-0145. Also check out our juice bar with our smoothies, boosters, mash, and therapy juices. 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Ice cream, jerk chicken, roast fish and corn, and over them it on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. Have you ever experienced a bad workmanship? Someone who work at your house and you're not satisfied, but you can't find good help? Well, look no further. Quicklink Construction is a licensed general construction company that's fully insured for the 5 boroughs and the Westchester. A one-stop construction company that will cater to your needs. Experience is what counts in this business, and we have the experience for more than 35 years. So if you need a paint job, call us. If the roof is talking to you, call us. If your garage won't open, call us. If you need a new paint job, call us. If you try to do the work yourself and your wife won't talk to you, call us. 914-665-0106. Quicklink Construction. No job too big, no job too small. Just call us. 914-665-0106. 914-665-0106. We have the experience. Quicklink Construction.
Lovebird Records presents the newly released tribute album from Keith Cole entitled Rock With Me.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Rock.
It's 13 tracks including the astute cover of Delroy Wilson's Who Cares?
Who cares? Who is right or wrong? Right.
Keith Cole also sings homage to Jabi Bunny Wailer.
How does it feel to have been on the ballroom floor?
This newly released 13-track tribute album is readily available in record stores and on all digital platforms. It's the brand new album Rock With Me from Keith Cole. Pick up a copy today and help play tribute to these icons in reggae music.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
Yeah.
Rock
Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Dine-in or takeout available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We're open Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Sundays, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. On Fridays and Saturdays, our seafood weekend starts from 11 o'clock. Check out our extensive breakfast and lunch menu. For breakfast, we have ackee and saltfish, corned beef and and cabbage, callaloo and saltfish, corned beef and macaroni, liver or kidney, curry chicken back, brown stew chicken back, cook up saltfish, salt mackerel. Also check out our lunch specials: oxtail, cow foot, stew pork, tripe and beans, stew peas, jerk pork, jerk chicken, fried chicken, stew chicken, barbecue ribs, curry chicken, curry goats, pepper steak, escovitch fish, brown stew fish, and roast fish, jerk pork with bread, jerk chicken with bread. Plus, we have catering services available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We also have delivery services with Uber and DoorDash. Check us out on Instagram at CB_Jerk Center. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York.
Honey, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company do you use to send it off?
This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside of the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com. Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing? Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insideofthezonelyc@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.
Don't miss How Excellent, Judith Gale's birthday celebration and 8th album launch gala presentation, Saturday, December 9, featuring MC Liz Black, performances from Judith Gale and guests Dr. KJ, J-Bells, DJ Nicholas, a fashion show, 5-course meal, lots of giveaways and a prize for the best dressed male and female. What a celebration! Saturday, December 9 at Astoria World Manor. Cocktails at 6 p.m. Showtime at 7 p.m. Contribution $110. Part proceeds in aid of the Judith Gale Ministries Foundation Limited, Jamaica. Visit eventbrite.com for tickets or call for more information. 516-789-7376 or 929-353-3961 or 347-645-3477. How Excellent with Judith Gale and Friends is sponsored by KGT Designs and Rentals, One of a Kind Realty, Tinkerbell's Luxurious Makeover, and CGA Immigration. How Excellent! Judith Gale's birthday celebration and 8th album launch gala event, Saturday, December 9 at Astoria World Manor. God must get the glory. See you there.
Monday. Yes, it's another Monday. Wet Monday, but we're good. A great day for us to be together, Lady D and the audience here at Linkage Radio. How was your weekend? You know, Mr. Hines, you and I are going to have a bit of a tussle. We're going to fight. We did not ask each other today, how was your weekend? I had a laid-back weekend, and it felt good. I didn't have a whole lot to do. In fact, I got home Thursday evening after the show. I just ran out on the road on Friday very quickly to do something, got back home. All day Saturday, I am just home. I prepped for the show, did a quick voiceover, and just relaxed. Got home after church. I go to the 8 o'clock service, got home. I did not go to any fireside to prepare any meal. So yes, I ordered in. And I just sat down and watched some Batman movies on Netflix. I tell you, I was TV'd out. Just relax and all that. And, you know, I'm not a, well, I don't like going to my bed too early because I'm a person, if I go to my bed too early, then I'm going to wake up during the course of the night and it's difficult for me to go back to sleep. So I tend to go to bed like 12:30 or 1 o'clock. That's my time. And I'm good. I can get up and function right. Take my vitamins and I'm fine. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's a good day. My name is Denise Lady D Gomez, producer and presenter of this show, Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. I'd like to say a very special hi to the audience of Linkage Radio, 101.7, 104.5. I was tuned in all afternoon to Mr. Hines. Yes, I was listening, and you know, even while I'm driving coming here, you know, I'm taking in all that's going on. So welcome to the crew of Linkage Radio. You're also perhaps streaming on the TuneIn app, so welcome to you. Not to mention the app fastcast4u.com. That's FASTCAST, the number 4, capital U.com. And you know I'm always over there in Cape Cod on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. But guess what? I'm also in Jamaica, Yard of the Rock, the Irie country. Yes. Broadcasting on Fit 96.7 FM, fitfmja.com. Your life, your music. And you're hearing my voice in Western and Central Jamaica. That is St. Anne, Brownstown, St. James, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, and Westmoreland. What a thing. My name is Denise. And I'm on my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone, with the Monday Drive today. What time is it? 5:23. Got lots to do. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities. Family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, real estate, life and health insurance, and food insecurity. Catch me on a Monday 5 to 7 and Thursday 6 to 8 p.m. Coming up, the Monday Beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. It's Jazz Music Monday. Right after In Community and Immigration Updates with Lady Trudy Ann of Swazi International. She'll be talking about social services for immigrants. Social services for immigrants. In today's special feature, member when? Outhouse or pit latrine? Outhouse or pit latrine, which one you had? Don't be ashamed. Keeping you in the know with news happenings and facts at 6 p.m. And Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Dr. Keisha Ballantyne Cargill, nurse practitioner and president of the Cargill Community Project, a 501c nonprofit organization established in 2018. So much to do. Someone says, Lady D, you need more than 2 hours. I'm like, I don't know. Our telephone number is 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. I'd like to start off with the Monday beat. Chasing the Monday blues out of here. So, I want to say good evening. Are you ready for some Jazz Music Monday? Love that. Just kicked it off with something nice just for you. What you think? What you think? What you think? Jazz Music Monday. Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez.
bheka ingane zethu azikwazi nokushikila lokhu ukuqhenya ukuxosha iziqhenye ngobuntombi bayo usuqela number phone yakunika usuqonile njalo lafela mthani aphela masemuntu
p.m. Time signal brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Good evening to you. Welcome to the Monday Drive.
Hi, Lady Denise. It's Trudy Ann. How are you?
Hey, Trudy Ann. I'm good. It's another beautiful Monday. Showers of blessing on the outside.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. You all right? It's one of those.
Life, I tell you, when you have, one of those, you know.
One of those. No mind. We press on. I am pressing, so I'm pressing with you. So we'll press together. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Community and Immigration Updates with Lady Trudy Ann of Swansea International. And today we will be talking about, tell them what you're talking about, Trudy.
We will be talking about social services that are available for our community. You know, most weeks we speak about, the whole event is community and immigration updates, right? So a lot of times we've been speaking about community, immigration. We haven't really touched on the community in detail. So I wanted to talk about some of the social services that are available that many people may not know that they are available, or they know of it, but they're afraid to get it because they think it might interfere with their immigration status.
Okay.
So I just wanted to clear up some, give some information on that, because a lot of miscommunication is out there and a lot of people are missing out on benefits that they could use at this moment.
Yes, and I appreciate that. So go right ahead, because they love the segment.
I'm glad. Thank you, everybody, for the support.
Right.
So one of the things I wanted to speak about was WIC, W-I-C. WIC is a program for pregnant women, or let me say this first. It's a program that provides food nutrients, milk, formula for the baby. A lot of people think, oh, it's only for when the baby is born that they can get it. They don't know that when the mother is pregnant, she is eligible for WIC because the baby is inside of her, so the baby needs nutrients, and she needs nutrients to feed the baby that's inside of her. Absolutely. So the mother, even while she's pregnant, is eligible for WIC. Now, you are eligible for WIC regardless of your immigration status. So whether you come here by boat, by plane, or by taxi, you're still eligible for WIC.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Food stamps. You're also eligible for food stamps as with the baby. You're eligible for that. But speak to your social services. You have a social worker. The WIC, all you need for the WIC is proof of your pregnancy. So you need to get a letter from the doctor that shows that you're pregnant, maybe a picture of the sonogram, and shows when you are due to have the baby, because they need proof, because anybody can go say they're pregnant, and so they want to avoid scamming and all of that. You need to also bring a utility bill with your address, bank statements, but most important out of all of that is the doctor's note. Now, if you're married, whether you're married or unmarried, and if your partner is a U.S. citizen, and just to say you say, okay, I'm afraid, whatever, if your partner is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you go with your partner to the center. But it's neither here nor there. Your partner doesn't need to be a citizen or a green card holder. As long as you're pregnant and in the United States, you are eligible for WIC regardless of your immigration status. As it relates to immigration, so for example, you have on Medicaid, you're getting food stamps. Food stamps does not go against public charge rule. Neither does Medicaid. However, if you're getting cash assistance, meaning you're getting $100 or $200 every month for more than 5 years, then yes, that goes against the public charge rule, because you're here undocumented and getting then long-term care.
Okay.
So that goes against the public charge rule. So you want to be very careful of that. But getting Medicaid, getting food stamps, getting WIC, that does not go against the public charge rule. So you're eligible for those. So, I hope this helps individuals who are here and kind of struggling, really needing some help with formulas, milk, and other things, and even the food stamps to get a little bit of groceries for you and the baby, or you and your household. And even if you're documented, please, Lady D, we are people, when we come here, whether we're Caribbeans or not just immigrants, when we come here, one of the first things a lot of us hear is the group of people who are on welfare. So we don't want to become them. We never come to get government assistance. And that's understandable. We came here to work. But here is the other caveat to that. We pay taxes, and our taxes fund all of these government programs. That's right. That's how the police are paid. That's how the fire department is paid. That's how civil servants are paid, through our taxes. MTA, through our taxes. So if you don't have a problem paying Uncle Sam your taxes, which we all have a problem paying Uncle Sam taxes, but you have to do it, then you should not have a problem collecting the benefits that those taxes pay for.
That's right.
Which means cut out this thing about welfare. Don't use that word. It has a negative connotation. Instead, it's state assistance. And the state assistance is run by our hardworking tax dollars. So please go to state assistance, get assistance for rent, one-shot deal, get your food stamps, get all of those things. You're not going to live on it forever, of course, because we love to work. But in the meantime, if things are difficult, don't cut off your nose to spite your face because of false pride, right? You're not getting free government money. You're getting back your tax dollars that you worked hard and paid into the system.
And this
so that's it for the social. Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate you bringing this to the audience, because at times, yes, we are prideful people, and a lot of us fall down in our runnings, as we would say.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than seeking help and hearing the negatives, that is out there, you will stay there and not be able to maintain your nutrition and all of that. By the time you go to doctor and they check you, they tell you that you're anemic, you're low in calcium, all kinds of stuff going on. So I'm glad you have brought this to the fore, that yes, these services are available. And ladies and gentlemen, please, if you know you fall in that category, don't be afraid. It is available.
And don't be ashamed.
And don't be ashamed. Because if there's anything I know, the services are available to us here. A lot of times we are either misinformed or we are just so locked away into what we know and or fear, right, Trudy, that we don't know nothing. So while other people over there capitalizing on the goods, we over here stressed.
And one of the things I don't like hearing is, Spanish people get everything.
Yeah, same
the
way.
Jews get everything. This one get everything, and black people don't get nothing. You're right. Black people don't get anything. You know why? They don't get up and go and ask for the programs. That's why. Keep on thinking, Spanish people get this and da whatever. They get it because they go there and apply for it. If black people got up and went and applied for it, they would have gotten it also. So we need to stop this narrative that perpetuates racism when it's not about racism. Is you just don't get up and go ask for the help.
Same so. I agree.
Right? And we know, yes, we never come here to come beg government assistance, but guess what? It's not government assistance. It's your money that you paid into.
Tell them.
Do some people abuse the system? Yes, they do. But guess what? There's people in every culture that abuse. People abuse immigration. People abuse state assistance. People abuse DMV. So you can't just look at state assistance. People abuse it and these other people on it. People abuse every system that is here. As long as they can get away with it, they abuse it.
That's right.
You understand? So it's not just one system, it's every system. So stop segmenting one system and say, this is shameful and me not go beg no money and whatever. No. The same DMV that you need to go apply for is your tax dollars paying for those services also.
I agree. Well, Trudy, well spoken, Mom, because they need to hear
Thank
it.
you.
Please tell them how they can contact you for your services.
They can reach my office at 929-312-1161. 929-312-1161. And one thing before I go, this is also about social services, about Social Security. A lot of people don't know how many credits they have to qualify for Social Security when they finally, so people, please go on Social Security website, register for an account, enter your Social Security number, and keep track of your credits so that you can speak to your accountant. Be in the know. A lot of our people sit there and don't know about these things because they don't look into it, just at the social services. And when it's time for them to get the money that they deserve, they don't get it because they don't know all the ins and outs. So register, speak to your accountant, know what you're doing, and know that these services are there. Be more into the social aspect of the environment that you live in.
I appreciate
not just the immigration aspect.
Well said. Thank you. Another great segment with you, Trudy Ann of Swansea International. We talk next week,
Thank
Trudy.
you.
So walk good.
My Makajukyo. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All righty, another... Okay. Yes, I'd like to thank Trudy for calling in with this such a vital bit of information, because we sometimes we get locked into where we come from. We're not looking ahead. Welcome once again. 5:43 p.m. It's Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, and I'd like to welcome everybody and ask the question: How wanna do? How wanna do? As always, how wanna do? I want to know. I want to know.
When you are hungry, come to Kulu Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Don't miss How Excellent, Judith Gale's birthday celebration and 8th album launch gala presentation, Saturday, December 9, featuring MC Liz Black, performances from Judith Gale and guests Dr. KJ, J-Bells, DJ Nicholas, a fashion show, 5-course meal, lots of giveaways and a prize for the best dressed male and female. What a celebration! Saturday, December 9 at Astoria World Manor. Cocktails at 6 p.m. Showtime at 7 p.m. Contribution $110. Part proceeds in aid of the Judith Gale Ministries Foundation Limited, Jamaica. Visit eventbrite.com for tickets or call for more information. 516-789-7376 or 929-353-3961 or 347-645-3477. How Excellent with Judith Gale and Friends is sponsored by KGT Designs and Rentals, One of a Kind Realty, Tinkerbell's Luxurious Makeover, and CGA Immigration. How Excellent! Judith Gale's birthday celebration and 8th album launch gala event, Saturday, December 9 at Astoria World Manor. God must get the glory. See you there.
Welcome back, everyone, and just to let you know that the date and time for this event is December 9, 6:30 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern, and you can purchase your tickets through Eventbrite. How Excellent, Judith Gale. It's $119.76. So you go on there and you make your purchase to Eventbrite. How Excellent. Welcome back to the show. It's 5:46 p.m. and as you know, I'm in my segment, Memba When. MEMBA When. Outhouse or pit latrine. I know growing up in Jamaica, a lot of people used the outhouse. They did not have modern amenities. And as a result, whether you encountered a roach, fly, ants. So, I get back to you. With that, give me a moment. Don't go anywhere. Oh, help me. Help me, help me, help me. Lordy, yeah, one of those moments of reflection. What can I say? When you hear this, you know
It's a land of special
I'm in Jamaica with some feature of sorts.
magical vibe, so much more than you will ever know. You can't ignore the music. Reggae is so profound, and when it comes to the track, you know that Jamaica won't back down.
Yeah, we're on top of the world. All kinds of stuff going on. But, so yes. So a lot of people, had to go out in the dark at night time and carry their lamp, whether it was your home sweet home, your tilly, something of sorts that you had to use to, go out to use the outhouse or the latrine. And I know a lot of you had to use it and hated it and were afraid at nights. And for those of you who had, little bedwetting problems, that was a whole nother story. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Miss Beautiful. How are you, my dear?
Well, what's going on there, Vernon?
I'm listening to you. They use bottle torch too.
They use... right, the bottle torch, right? The one that they stick up
woman, right?
Uh-huh.
One girl, she gets pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the father asked mother how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Daddy, I will roll the torch.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, the man waiting in the outhouse,
mm-hmm.
that they can't to the toilet, and then the man and get her pregnant in there.
Oh, dear. And of course, Daddy on the outside I hold the thing, so I don't know what going on inside.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
They have them all over the world, you know. They have them upstate, they have them America, you know.
Yes. I know that it's not.
Yeah, it's a worldwide thing.
It's a worldwide thing. Got you.
But what you do, you have the chimney.
Mm-hmm.
To prevent it from going outside.
That we know. But you know, when you have the chimney, there's always one picnic who very clumsy.
No, sometimes you have more than one, you know. And you can go inside and it and do. You don't know what to do.
Okay, well, we know that picnic cause it fit throw away and all kind of something.
No, you just go roll it out 50 times. And then nothing to it.
Oh, Lord, who is my second call?
Good afternoon.
Lordy, help me. Good evening.
Yeah. How was your weekend, my dear?
Hold on, Mr. Hines. Hold on. Gloria?
Yes, Lady D.
Mark, you're present. How you do? What you saying here now?
You know, if you put throw a little kerosene oil, Mom usually throw a little kerosene oil, and no roach or anything don't bother you.
Oh.
And they polish it and shine it too, and have cover for the little. They have a big seat and a small seat.
Cover.
I never encounter any roach.
Oh, you never had roach issues. All right.
No, and they polish it and shine it too. When you go in there, you want to sit down, especially if it's not night. I never encounter any roach.
And they polish it in red, right? It's red polish.
Polish it and you shine it with the brush. Yes, with red polish.
There
Just like how they do the veranda or whatever they have.
Yes, ma'am.
The patio. It's patio in America, but it's veranda in Jamaica.
Yes. Mr. Hines, what do you say now?
All right.
Good evening, my dear.
Good
How
evening,
was your
Mr.
weekend?
Hines. I know, you heard me, right? Yes, it
That's
was.
That's a cardinal sin I committed this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at school, whenever the junior dormitory, we just share the bunk bed.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sleep on top, and me sleep on bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And that boy has to piss me up almost every night.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh,
and then,
poor
you know,
thing.
what happened, What happened, as I was 10 years old, 10, 11 years old, then what happened there, we go to the bathroom, the Monroe Delco go off at 12 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and I was up in the Spooner.
Oh.
Everybody about Spooner. And you hear, woo, at night the wind, up the very windy now, morning and hilltop.
Yes.
So what do you think up now? I can wake up my partner to go bathroom with me.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't wait to go bathroom with him because we don't want to go alone, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
so it was a good joke, you know what I mean?
Yes, I appreciate your input. That's funny. Thank you. Good to hear you. All righty. Thank you so much.
Excellent shows, you.
All
Excellent
right.
shows, you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. So, I never had the use of no pit latrine or the outhouse, but I had to use it at school, and I hated going. So I went to Chapelton Primary, John Austin Primary, right? And John Austin is in my community in Penance, and then Chapelton Primary is in Chapelton, as the name dictates. But I remember once at John Austin, I had to go. So I went, when I lift up the cover, some big drummer-looking roach crawling all over. Denise just covered that back. I didn't even run back to tell my teacher that I have to run down to my house because I don't live far away. I just bolt out of that thing and run like kite right to my house, use my modern toilet and run back up to school. I hated it. And I used to hear stories that not on our school property, but I've heard that, people fall over in there and all them kind of stuff. And then I used to, when I lift up that thing, you see nothing but pitch black. Oh Lord, I never liked it. Never liked it at all. So I know that, and pity me little and all them little people crawling all about the place. I'm sorry. Just thinking of the ants alone is a big problem. But, I can also just share a little bit about it. The outhouse, a structure that was once a common site, is now becoming a relic of the past. Here's a brief history of how the outhouse came to be, right? Historians, and by the way, for those of you who do not have our telephone number, it's 914-297-8911. You have an outhouse story to share or pit latrine story, I'm here to listen. Historians and archaeologists are usually excited to explore an old outhouse because it can give them clues about the lives of the former inhabitants. For example, people sometimes left bottles or relics in the outhouse, which can reveal clues about historical context. Also, fossilized excrement can provide clues about the diet and health of past users. Ooh! The outhouse has endured for this long, which is impressive considering the first outhouse was thought to have been built some 500 years ago, and this article was written some time back, so it's over 500 years by now. Let me take another call and see who wants to share the outhouse story. Hello?
Queen.
King.
You don't want to pass on the place with the outhouse now because if you notice a plant round at the back of the outhouse, you remember the tangerine tree and the outer eat the apple tree and the banana tree around at the latching back. You see all them beer and fruitful.
And sweet. I'm sorry. And very tasty.
But don't get my outhouse because it serves its purpose. Anything planted near that outhouse,
it's going to thrive.
When it got it beer, tell you, man.
No,
that I think, and the two out thing, you have an outdoor shower and the outdoor
yes,
panel.
Yes, please.
And you have to clean like penny whistle on Saturday.
Because I have been to, friends' houses, and when we go, it shine. You'd think, say, it's a prized possession.
Well, we did have both. We did have modern and the outhouse. Because when rain fall and make you use inside at night, and in that day when an outer door they run up and you dare not go in my grandmother's bathroom. You dare not go in my grandmother's bathroom.
Yes,
because I go be the outer door down a river.
But you can imagine those who never had electricity or light, as we said, and have
you
to
do
get
everything
up.
before 6 o'clock.
So what happened when you drink up a whole heap of drinks or something and have to go? You had chimney?
Well, yeah, the poi pot, the enamel one, you're trying to drop you enough, you drop it, make it chip, you're not trouble.
We know that. Yes, man. But speaking, I had given that story one time, but there's a friend, well, she was my coworker, and she had once shared a very, I think, cruel story of what her mom did to her sister. Her sister got up very early, packaged her bag to go on their little school trip. It was the sister's duty to empty the chamber pot, the chimney. And the sister so excited, she forget. So she head on up to school, and while everybody was boarding the bus and teacher calling name and all that, she saw her mother coming with a package in her hand, in paper bag. So she think no, that maybe mama give her something extra to carry. I'm telling you, some parents rough, rough. So all the mother did was walk up to her sister and hand her the bag and say, you forget this. When the poor girl opened it, she wrap it up with the same contents in there.
My Lord.
Give our daughter. Now, my friend said, for years, her sister didn't talk to her mom. That was just too much now. That was painful, man. So people can share the outhouse, a.k.a. pit latrine story, who bucked them toe in a night, who encountered images that they thought they saw on their way.
Banana leaf with the winner.
Right. Or who the door drop off, all kind of something happen with that. And then when the door drop off, your siblings have to kind of guard. Oh, that is just rough. rough, man. Rough.
You make sure you go get the J's for Saturday that it show in there, the J's.
Brother.
Well, that's for me 2 cents. So you're all right, though?
Me good, thank you.
Right,
me appreciate the 2 cents.
All right.
Thank you. Lordy. The outhouse. Look how far we are come from till now. Some houses have they have 3.5, 4.5 bathrooms, all them kind of something going on, because life changed, right? Good evening, how are you?
Good evening, Lady D.
I know you have a story. I know you have a story, young lady. Let me hear.
No, I just catch when the gentleman talking about toilet. I don't catch it because I was in the kitchen, like Dinah.
Then top, you don't have TV in the kitchen. Why?
No, the TV, I don't turn it on. I have the radio playing, but the water running in the kitchen and everything.
So you can listen by your phone. So I am saying, forget the radio. You can jump on the phone while you're in the kitchen and listen. So what you say now?
When a modernize like you know, Lady D.
You still don't modernize.
Is that you're talking about modernizing?
You stay there, no modernize up. So how you do? What you have to tell me today?
I am good. When I heard you talk about the pit toilet and, as you said, shining, that was, we have to shine that outside toilet like an inside house.
Right.
On weekends. That is our, Lady D, saying this, saying that. The children of today have nothing to talk about in the future to tell their children.
No, man. Then
but I love listening to you, when you start talk about them old times. So.
Right. But, truthfully, they'll be able to share their stories, their experiences that we can't fathom today, but it will be their experience to share with their children in another 30 years.
No,
believe it or not.
We have
no, young lady, me here no have this conversation all the time, and I'm very open to listening. What I am saying is that each generation build their own experiences, and whatever infrastructure is in place in that time and space, that is your experience. Were you riding buggy and so when you did little? You come from
no,
my point exactly. My point exactly.
An amper. Dancing with amper.
Aye. Okay then. So
but it's so fun to tell, the experience when you were
yes, ma'am.
When we were not when I said when we were growing up. Not say exactly, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's just fun, When I said I didn't want to live in your days.
Right, it seems so dark.
All right, Lady.
All right, no problem.
I'm sitting here listening to you. We will chat.
Okay, no problem.
All right, blessings.
That's my young lady for you. But truthfully, the generation, these children now, they'll be able to share about them cell phone and when we first went live stream. They're going to be able to share all of that. And by then, maybe we will be flying in the sky like the Jetsons. I talk about the Jetsons all the time. Hello, welcome to the show.
Yes. Lady D, the door from the outhouse don't have to come off, because you know what I see? They take rubber and nail and make the hinges. And then the tire is so thick, or some people use a crocus bag. So there's always privacy there.
Oh, so the door no drop off at all? Never?
No, the door no drop off at all. When the tire, that's what I and then nail it. So you open it, and there's a latch outside. And when you go inside, you can put your hand over it and latch it inside. And anybody come, they knock. They don't just come in.
They can't just come in.
Yes,
ma'am.
Or if you improvise, you put a crocus bag there. And when you're not in there, you reel it up, and there's a little part, you put it over. So when it's down, you know that somebody is in there.
But that come in like when we into these porta potties nowadays, when you go in, you see vacant or you see in use.
Lady B, that's why I love my mom like that. You see, if I'm doing anything, like when I had one brother, he died though. He was the first one.
Okay.
And when she was teaching me to iron khaki, he wore pants already was a big man. And if I don't iron this side good, the time you put the banana chunk at the back, and then you put wood and you put the iron where you rub it on the banana leaf. And if I don't iron a spot good, you starch the clothes. And if this don't stay, it don't done properly for mom. She have a little pet name, what she call me. And she come up to me. I love my mom to death. She said, Gloria, she have one little pet name, what she call me. Yes, I want little more touch up. Never throw anything in the dirt, or never carry anything come meet me to embarrass me. I don't know. I love her like she was born yesterday.
Yes,
because she did things that let me love her. If I don't do this properly, she will show me. She said, here's a want a little touch up, or here's a want a little, and never come embarrass me with anything. I've never gone and leave it. But mom's bringing up, boy, I wouldn't change it for the world.
I thank you for your input. Thanks,
you're
my
welcome.
love. Okay. So the one King now send me, I have news to get to, ladies and gentlemen. The Outhouse is a hit this afternoon here. King sent me now some pictures, some images. So one you have, here is one with the seat up inside of the structure, not the seat area. The seat area is in kind of wood, and then the wall section is painted in white and something. And with a dustbin next to it. I don't even know. That must be a recent time. Then you have one now where it's just zinc, and not all parts of the structure is covered. So in the back look like a blue piece of, them blue tarp. And then the top barely covers, so you can't go in there if rain or fall, or if rain catch you in there, you just have to sit down. Then one now in zinc, they paint the zinc white. And this seating here look little bit though. Who sit down on this? Yes, sir. So we've come a long way. And I like taking my audience back, because no matter what your achievements are, you have a history. You may not want to talk about it, but you have a story to tell. Well, that's a wrap for Member When this afternoon. My name is Lady D, Denise Gomez. It is Monday. Coming up in a few minutes will be News Zone. Okay, so stay with me. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. And speaking of being right back, what time is it? 8 minutes after 6 o'clock. And I'd like to welcome everyone to the show. Our telephone number is 914-297-8911, 914-297-8911. At 6:30 p.m., my guest, Dr. Keisha Ballantyne Cargill, nurse practitioner and president of the Cargill Community Project, a 501c3 nonprofit organization established in 2018 to provide education, resources, and engagement primarily for seniors, disadvantaged populations, and diverse people living in the local Northeast Bronx and Mount Vernon areas. You'll be hearing who she is, who she's connected to, what she does, why she chose to enter this field. How challenging has it been? How rewarding it has been. I tell you, it's going to be a great conversation. So stay with me. Don't go anywhere.
This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside of the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know with news happenings and facts. It's 10 minutes after 6 o'clock. We start off with news out of Jamaica. 2 men were killed in a drive-by shooting in Grandspend, St. Andrew on Sunday afternoon. The deceased men, who were both of Grandspend Avenue addresses, have not yet been identified. Observer Online understands that the incident occurred about 3 p.m. The fleeing gunmen reportedly abandoned a car on Queens and Chisholm Avenue in Richmond Park and were able to successfully elude police who responded to the incident. Police sources say the deaths have nothing to do with an alleged conflict associated with popular entertainer Jashi, whose brother was killed in the community on Saturday. Sources from the community say the flare-up of violence is due to a conflict between rival gunmen from 2 sections of the area. Out of Portland, Jamaica, a man was arrested after a pistol and several rounds of ammunition were reportedly found under a mattress in his bedroom in his community of Binning Lane, Shrewsbury District, Portland on Sunday. Reports from the Hope Bay Police are that at about midday, lawmen carried out an operation at the location occupied by a man. The premises was searched and 1 Glock 23 pistol with 13.40 rounds of ammunition cartridge were seized under a mattress inside the man's bedroom. He was arrested and taken into custody pending further investigations. A former neonatal nurse who was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of 7 babies in her care are trying to kill 6 others at a United Kingdom hospital will face a retrial on a charge of attempting to murder a newborn baby girl, prosecutors said Monday. Lucy Letby, 33, was sentenced last month to life behind bars with no chance of release after a jury convicted her of murdering 7 babies in the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital in northwest England between 2015 and 2016. She was also convicted of trying to murder 6 other infants. However, the jury of 7 women and 4 men in her 10-month trial was not able to reach verdicts on 6 counts of attempted murder in relation to 5 other newborns. Letby had faced 2 counts of attempted murder against one of the newborns.
The Crown Prosecution Service said Monday it wanted to pursue a retrial on one of those outstanding charges, which involved a baby girl known only as Child K in February 2016. Letby attended Monday's hearing by video from a prison and spoke only to confirm her name. A provisional trial date was set for June 10, 2024. Letby was handed the most severe punishment possible under British law, which does not allow the death penalty. A judge said she acted with malevolence bordering sadism. Only 3 other women have received such a harsh sentence in the UK. The former nurse was accused of deliberately harming the babies in various ways, including by injecting into their bloodstreams and administering air or milk into their stomachs via nasogastric tubes. She was also accused of poisoning infants by adding insulin to intravenous feeds and interfering with breathing tubes. The victims were given anonymity and listed only by letters. And continuing with the news, 2 Florida preteens decided to take their mom's car and go for a joyride in the middle of the night after she attempted. Let me read that again for you. 2 Florida preteens decided to take their mom's car and go for a joyride in the middle of the night after she disciplined them by taking away their electronic devices. On September 21, the Alachua County Sheriff Department, located near Gainesville, Florida, released a statement on Facebook confirming that deputies pulled over a 10-year-old boy and his 11-year-old sister who were driving along an Alachua freeway at around 3:50 a.m. Deputies planned to perform a high-risk traffic stop as the white sedan had been reported stolen, the Post said. Much to their surprise, deputies observed a 10-year-old male driver exit the vehicle, along with his 11-year-old sister. It was learned that the siblings had been reported missing to the Northport Police Department and that the stolen vehicle belonged to their mother, the statement read. The social media post included 2 photos of the children exiting the vehicle with their hands raised. The department covered their faces in the images to conceal their identities. Authorities contacted the siblings' mother, who decided to not press charges and instead drove 3 hours to pick up her children and take them home. The brother and sister had traveled about 200 miles from home, NBC News reported. After many Facebook users commented on the post, asking for more details, the department provided an update on September 22. In a follow-up comment below the original post, police shared what prompted the children to leave in the early hours of the morning. According to police, they were upset with their mom, who took away their electronic devices. Police added that the mother confiscated the devices because the preteens were not using them appropriately. The children did not speak with both deputies and detectives, and those conversations did not lead to any belief that the children were mistreated by their parent or any other person within the home, authorities said. Although the mother does not plan to press charges, the 2 siblings could be criminally charged for driving without a valid license. In addition to speaking with the children, police also had a conversation with their mother. Our detectives did not speak with their mother at length, who was clearly doing her best to raise 2 young children, and she was very receptive to the recommendations they provided in helping to get her assistance, the statement concluded. It's 18 minutes after 6 o'clock. 8 of the biggest European reggae festivals have warned of a dim future for the Jamaican music, citing a huge 50% drop in audiences, combining with skyrocketing artist fees, up to 3 times previous rates in the face of a growing preference for other genres of music on the continent. A staunch ally of reggae, the music that was spawned in the sprawling slums of Western Kingston, Europe stages 15 reggae festivals annually since the 1970s and emerging as a staple for every major act from Jamaica who can depend on the usually well-attended concerts for critical earnings. We can't ignore the elephant in the room. Audience attendance at dedicated reggae festivals is declining. Outside of the festival season, there are fewer venue shows played by reggae artists. I do apologize for that. They don't tour as intensively as they used to, the 8 said in an unprecedented joint statement Saturday. At the same time, the fees proposed have skyrocketed and don't reflect the potential audience attraction artists generate. As a result, promoters are obligated to pay fees that are not proportionate to ticket sales, resulting in exploding artistic budgets and increased operational costs, they said. And in news overseas, the sentencing exercise for Robert Benoit, the Caucasian American who was in March this year convicted in the St. James Circuit Court for having intercourse with a 12-year-old girl after she was handed over to him by her father for transactional sex, was on Friday postponed after he became boisterous and demanded a new lawyer. The incident has resulted in his former attorney, Christopher Townsend, expressing concern about the man's mental state following his conduct on Friday. The 59-year-old Benoit, who was unanimously declared guilty by a jury comprising 5 men and 2 women following their deliberations in March, had at the time declared that corruption and racism had a part in his verdict. Friday, when the matter was called up, Benoit again ranted, resulting in his attorney, Townsend, making an application to withdraw his representation. Unfortunately, he seemed to have lost confidence in my ability to represent him, and I am most concerned actually about his state of mind. He seemed to have been talking a lot and saying all kinds of things in the courtroom, to the point where the judge had difficulty controlling him, and so that having been the case, I was constrained to make an application to withdraw from the matter, Townsend told the Jamaica Observer. That application was upheld by the learned judge who saw the circumstances. He had expressed a desire for a particular counsel to represent him. I made contact with the counsel, and hopefully on the next occasion when the matter will be brought to Kingston, that counsel will be able to adequately represent him, Townsend said further. Benoit, the Observer understands, is to be sentenced at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston on Friday, September 29, 2023. Based on the evidence unveiled in the matter, the incident took place in December 2020, 2 days before Christmas. And that's it for keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts today. It's 22 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lady D, Denise Gomez, and I hope you're having a great, great afternoon with me here on Linkage Radio. Jazz Music Monday. At 6:30 p.m., Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Dr. Keisha Ballantyne Cargill.
Good evening to you. Hello. Good evening, my dear.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, my Hortense.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Were you the person calling?
Huh?
Were you the person calling me earlier?
No, the
Okay.
person called.
All righty. Yes, ma'am. Good evening
What
to you.
what kind of animal, good evening, that nurse is? We're killing a baby at 6 now?
It's very frightening, Hortense. Extremely
What kind of
frightening.
animal is that?
Yes. She has a problem.
And she's not a woman.
That's a mental thing. That's a mental disorder. That's yeah.
He's an animal. And some animal you can go them picnic.
That's true.
Especially some cow.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Lady D.
Good evening, ma'am. Take your holding position, dear.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure I'm on the line.
That's all right. Yes, Hortense.
Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes,
Good?
I can hear you. Just stay. Yes,
Okay,
I can
good.
hear you. Yes, Hortense.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's
and the gunman them again. Them on next one. They not stop. Them just shoot.
Yes, for the past maybe 2 weeks, the yes, the number of shootings have escalated. And yes, we know they're trying to. I can say to people, I believe that the security force, the constabulary, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they are trying. They don't have the manpower to be in every nook and cranny of the society. It's sad.
What to the soldier then? What to the soldier then?
Well, remember,
camp.
They're not gonna pull soldiers out like that, Hortense, because the soldiers are really there for defense purposes and for crisis situations at a very high magnitude, high level, to defend and ward and protect. That's what they do. When you see they pull them out, is because they have to, and the situation requires that. So Fatulika shooting, granted it's loss of life, but it's not a crisis situations. You know, these things are sporadic. They're just happening here, there, everywhere, and yeah, they understand. And we know people losing them life.
Put a soldier to every police station and then let them go there with them, with the police them. One or two of them. Every police station. And I bet you, and when them go past raid, nobody know. Nobody know. Then just go in and try to say, look on the one at Portland, him got gun on the mattress.
Under his mattress. Yes, brother. If everybody do something and it nothing legal and it's to create mayhem. Create mayhem. So, yeah, so that's one put in his place, in his rightful place, right?
But then two little picnic, can you
imagine? Can you imagine? No, sir.
Because their mother take away their device.
Yes, ma'am.
Gone, drive the woman there. Then go the police, then 10-year-old drive and 11-year-old. Lord Jesus, and I tell the police, give them a good flogging, officer. Flog them.
Yes, Hortense, we hear you.
Lord Jesus.
I hear you.
Lick them under their foot, but no wailing. Hold them up and clap them under their foot, but sure.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So I have my guest holding, but I'm glad. If there's anything I know that God has gifted you with, yes, you're no longer able to see, but I tell you, you're able to assimilate information in a way that not
That's
even
right.
I can, because you heard all the news headlines I read and you were able to still so the Lord bless and keep you, because I tell you, where I short, you are stronger, right?
That's right.
Yes, I love you. Blessings, my love. All right, take care.
Okay, then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.
So that's my Hortense for you. And I do believe I have my guest holding patiently on the line. Hello.
Yes, Lady D, I'm here.
Yes, yes.
How are you?
I'm good. It's so nice to have you, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. It's time for Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And my guest today is Dr. Keisha Ballantyne Cargill. Would you like to say hello to the audience?
Yes, hello. It's a pleasure to be here with you all this evening, and it is quite an honor. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this dialogue and discussion about, the community. I'm very passionate about things in the community, and I'm just excited to share some of the things that we've been working on through the Cargill Community Project. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Lady D.
You're welcome. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Stop by, especially this evening. You need to stop by. Give them a call, 718-324-7484. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to introduce Keisha Ballantyne Cargill. She has worked as a family nurse practitioner since 2013. But has been in the field of nursing since 2000, starting out as a certified nursing assistant and continuing her training as a LPN, RN, and then a nurse practitioner. So she is a living testament of the importance of pursuing excellence. Dr. Ballantyne Cargill is the president of the Cargill Community Project, a 501c3 nonprofit organization established in 2018. Welcome once again, Keisha.
Thank you so much.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad you are here with me. And something, when I read the bio that you sent me, and I had to say to myself that you are the consummate, nurse practitioner. And I want you to elaborate for them before we get into the Cargill Community Project, because, of course, you have a foundation in healthcare, right? And as a nurse practitioner. So who is a nurse practitioner, first and foremost?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you asked. You're tugging at my heartstrings here, because I fell in love with the nursing profession. And, yes, I would love to just share with your audience what a nurse practitioner is. So a nurse practitioner is an advanced care provider. And what makes a nurse practitioner different from like an RN, which is the registered professional nurse, is that a nurse practitioner went for advanced training and education to develop a competency now to provide care for patients. So all nurse practitioners, they are registered nurses, yes, but they have a master's degree at the very minimum. And in terms of educational preparedness, they also have doctoral degrees. And so with this advanced clinical training that is beyond their initial RN role, they are able to have specialized knowledge in clinical competency and to practice in settings like your primary care offices, acute care such as the hospital, as well as long-term care settings, which would be like your nursing home and subacute care rehab facilities. So, how does a nurse practitioner compare to like a doctor?
I was about to ask.
It's a total different.
Yes.
It's total different. Look at my watch trying to answer. It's a total different profession. It's because nursing gives you a different scope of practice. So NPs, nurse practitioners, can order medication. They can diagnose the patient just like a doctor. They can manage the care, meaning that in many clinics you will see that you go to see a nurse practitioner. You don't even have to see the doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different tract of training. And, one more important thing, in New York State, nurse practitioners that have over 3,600 hours of clinical hours, they don't need to work under the collaborating relationship of a doctor. They can be on their own, because they have their own license. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very different. A lot of patients get confused as to, well, what's the difference between, I want to see the doctor, or, what's the difference between the nurse practitioner and the nurse?
Mm-hmm.
The nurse practitioner can pretty much function as equally as a doctor can in a healthcare setting, but it's a different training.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to tell people is that a nurse practitioner, because they have that nursing foundation as the core of their education, they tend to look at patients in a more holistic way. So it goes beyond the physical health
Mm-hmm.
and the physical health needs of the patient, and it's now looking at how the social, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs affect that person from, improving in health.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a whole, you're treating the whole man versus, I'm just looking to see what the problem is, give you the treatment, and move on to the next patient.
To the next
So
patient.
it's very different, but I love the nursing profession because it allows you to do so much.
Mm-hmm.
And this role was created to help fill the gap that was identified in care. There was going to come a point where you would have more patients than doctors to treat them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
because of the education of nurses and now development of nurse practitioner programs, and this is from, when I look back, I think it's Dr. Loretta Ford in 1965 had the first nurse practitioner school curriculum. Since then, now you have kind of narrowed the gap a little bit. It's still bad, in terms of, because there's a lot of doctors that don't want to continue in primary care. They want to specialize and become do cardiology and, different electrophysiology or radiology. So who's going to take care of the regular patients, right?
Mm-hmm.
The nurse practitioners. So it was a response to also a healthcare crisis is what I want to say.
Well, thank you for expounding so much. We appreciate that because I don't think a lot of people know the depth of study that you have to go through. And so, which leads me to ask you, did you decide to pursue the medical field, and what were the steps you took that led to, your illustrious, I'd say, career?
Yeah, there's several steps. So back in 2000, when I was working as a certified nursing assistant, that was like a career flip for me. And I got into it because at the time, I wanted to just see if I could, do this kind of healthcare work. I was working in human resources before. Things are very different than from healthcare. So I began working as a nursing assistant. And in my own family, we're from the West Indies. My mother was a registered nurse. And there were many women in my family that were nurses. So I'm like, all right, well, it can't be so foreign or so hard for me to do. Let me try.
Mm-hmm.
So I began working as a nursing assistant, and I developed a knack. And let me just step into that role for a second. I remember when I did my state boards or my clinicals, I think, for becoming a nursing assistant, they failed me, and I didn't pass because of they have a task that you have to do where you shave the patient. And I must not have followed the right steps. And what's interesting for me when I look back is that when I was working as a nursing assistant, I became the expert at it. Because eventually, I repeated it and I passed my clinical, and, I was working as a nursing assistant. And I became the go-to. Like any patient in the nursing home that needed a shave, they would be like, oh, Keisha'll do it. And I look at it that I use that story to tell people that, this was the humble beginning, but even if you fail in nursing school or nursing program or whatever beginning entry level that you're doing, you can bounce back. You can, it's not the end.
It's not the end. That's right.
Then I definitely, in those moments working as a nursing assistant, people that I work with began to identify that, hey, why don't you go a little further and pursue nursing? Because I see that, I was beginning to develop a passion for it in terms of my caring towards seeing people at their most vulnerable state. So that's what I wanted to say there.
Yes, thank you for that. 6:39 p.m. Welcome to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. My guest this evening is Dr. Keisha Ballantyne Cargill. She's a nurse practitioner, and she's also heavily invested in her project, the Cargill Community Project. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we'll be getting to that in a few moments. But let me continue on my trend here with you. It must have taken some long, grueling days during your study, and we would like to hear.
Okay, so I, after I was working as a nursing attendant and I went to school, I did, the typical track of doing the prerequisites before going into a nursing program, because I think at the time they had either the 2-year program through schools like Helen Fold, or you would be doing like a degree program, such as the school that I went to. I went to Pace University for my undergrad. So I did my prerequisites, trying to chop down the time, and because, we're working and going to school, and then the journey was 3 years at Pace University, because I went in as a transfer student. And while I was in school doing my RN program, that's when I did the LPN. So it was kind of like, you do it along the way. And each step of the way, because your scope expands where you could do more and more, it's like you're learning. And I had to take state boards. So I took the NCLEX as an LPN, and I also took the NCLEX RN as a registered nurse. And I will just pause for a moment there and say, like, nursing school is no joke.
So I hear.
Really,
yes.
It's kind of like the medical school entrance exam. They use it to kind of weed you out to see if you really want this or not. And so I've had like lots of late nights and tears up studying. I remember with my second son, I remember when I had medical surgical finals at school, I was in the delivery room at Lawrence Hospital with my big med surg textbook in the bed with me, because everything was riding on continuing in my program. And I remember after I delivered, I actually had to take a final exam, and, I had the baby waiting in the car with my husband. It was something else. But it tells you of the devotion that you have to have while you're doing nursing school, because you want to get this degree and you want to become a professional nurse and go through all the steps, but it's difficult. So I'm not going to stay here and tell you that it wasn't. It was a lot of tears and dedication and prayer. My belief in God strengthened while doing
I'm sure
my nursing program. It was a journey, and for anyone out there that's interested in nursing, it's a wonderful profession, and the core of it is obviously caring for others and serving people at their most vulnerable times. But it requires you to have this inner motivation to just kind of stay through the course.
I understand.
You're not going to get a lot of thank yous all the time, but it's very rewarding.
Yes. Now, I know, and we're getting into the Cargill Community Project, but I just wanted to ask you, because you developed a passion for community service, right? And so you must have had some experiences, really sick people, at least 2 instances you can share with us of things you saw, and then we'll get into the project.
Sure. So I will tell you that when I got my nursing degree and I started working in the hospital system, because I did nursing home care for a while, but one thing that comes to mind immediately was when I was working in the hospital, and of course these are like much sicker people, because, this is acute care, right? I began to get the aha moment that no matter what education you have, no matter how much connections you have, when something tragic or suddenly happens to you and you find yourself in a hospital, it requires you're so vulnerable. You depend upon, and it requires the skill and compassion of others to take good care of you in these most vulnerable times. I began to see how kind of fleeting life is. And, this kind of helped further shape my why in terms of why am I even doing this? And it's because this could be me in this hospital bed.
That's true.
And then it began to inform the way how I treat people, because I'm like, oh my goodness. I remember specifically taking care of a man that he's like a very accomplished cardiologist. And he came in with a traumatic brain injury. He had a craniectomy, which is where they remove part of the brain so that, your blood can flow properly, because he was bleeding in his brain. And the long story short is this man, who was the renowned cardiologist, he had a tube in his stomach for feeding, couldn't eat anything by mouth, didn't have the ability and strength to talk or obviously swallow, so that's why we were feeding him through his tube in his stomach. And his mobility, because of the side of his head that he had his brain injury or brain bleed, his mobility was severely impaired, so he had no ability to help himself and so forth. And I looked at that and I said, oh my goodness, this could be, and he was one of us, so to speak, right?
Yes.
And the compassion that is needed for this job or this type of work, it's beyond words. And then there are other people, like I presently work with patients that are living with HIV. And then we have, I have patients that they don't take their medication, and for different reasons. Some people have like low health literacy, we call it. They're just not aware of the impact of their decision on their health. And so they are like, doing very poorly, some of them, or it's because of resources. So, I've learned through working in this healthcare system of how important it is to be an advocate for people.
Yes.
And to just also educate them on, what their decision is. And how it impacts their health, and also for the rest of the members of their household.
Yes.
So
thank you.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, I'm sure about that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't yet told you who she's connected to, but we'll do that in a few, because, she's her own person with her own experiences and things going on. But let's shift gear now, Keisha, and discuss your most recent and notable accomplishment, the Cargill Community Project. What is that? How is it going?
Okay, so the Cargill Community Project, we were officially founded in 2018, but we've been operating well before then. One of the reasons that this project was birthed is due to just, being around Cooler Runnings Restaurant and noticing that within the community of the Northeast Bronx, in that area there were a lot of people that just seemed very disengaged from society. And, we were also seeing people that on vulnerable days such as Thanksgiving, they either did not have the resources or food, because we would technically close on Thanksgiving Day. And then I just noticed just personally that when I drove by like Jerome Avenue and other places in the Bronx, I would see a lot of homeless people sitting out in the cold. And I just got moved and said, there must be something that we can do, even if it's just on that day, to begin to respond to what we were seeing. So a group of volunteers came together and they said, you know what, since Cooler Runnings is closed on Thanksgiving, let's set up some tents outside and let's just kind of do a community dinner and see what happens. Let's invite people and also bring food to people that, would be in need. So we made partnerships with like homeless shelters, as well as just people that are in the area that, I'll just take a moment to tell you that there are a lot of people that are homeless that you may not even know, especially with the new migrant crisis that we're experiencing in New York City. You bump into people, from Honduras, Venezuela, wherever, and they are really having a hard time.
They are, and I must say, to piggyback, that at my organization we've been tending to them with clothing and food, and this past
it's really bad.
Yeah, this past
really
Friday
bad.
We opened our kitchen so that they could come in and prepare their own meal.
Oh,
and
that's so good.
They sat down, ate, and they got clothing. So they come in every week.
Oh my goodness!
And they're moving them around. So
they have been. The city has been housing them in hotels, but I was told that that's going to stop soon.
Yes.
So, I've even, as a result, let me get back to the Cargill project. So, we started volunteering and having the community dinners. And then from that, we began sponsoring Community Appreciation Day over in the same area because we thought that, we need to create this vehicle of how we can kind of be hands extended to this community. Because when we first had these kind of events, people were like, oh, my goodness, no one ever does this in this area. And they were very moved by just the gesture of helping others. And then we even began teaching other people, regular local community people, of how to serve others in their community, because that doesn't happen enough. We need to be more service to each other, just to be frank about it. So over time, because Cooler Runnings has been around for 15 years, but officially through the organization of Cargill Community Project, we have seen numbers grow over time of people reaching out for help. And since then, we have partnered with ICON, which is a children's rescue fund on Brook Avenue, where we now have a continued relationship with them. So this shelter has up to 246 women and children that are homeless. And, we just try to continue, let it not be just that one day that we're doing something.
Right.
And we try to use resources such as even from Good Neighbors, the pantry. We get whatever we can get from the local resources that we have, and we try to find a way to bring it to them. And they've been so grateful and appreciative. Some of the children that are in that shelter, they're as young as, 2 years old and so forth. And the participants, they have sometimes just 30 days before they have to find somewhere else to live. So we work with a lot of transitional housing to just kind of really help in any way we can. Sometimes it's just one thing that you can do within your realm of influence to help others. So I use the background that I have in healthcare as well as counseling. And I also solicit help from other professionals to really see how we can come together and try to help solve some of these local neighborhood problems.
Well, oh boy,
so
I think
it's one of the ways.
Good. It's such a remarkable achievement. Once it is community oriented, and we think of people, because I tell people, it is the grace of God that is over us, because when we see what's happening in other parts of the world where people's lives just stop, life was going on, and anything can happen to us on this end. Right?
I remember when I even went to Deep Sloot, South Africa. It's a little township there. I went there in March, and someone that I know was doing a mission down there, and she just we all bundled up some food and so forth. The long story short is that this was extremely poor community there, and they were so appreciative for just getting 1 month's worth of groceries. We packed them out, we handed out. People are in dire need, but I don't have to go all the way to Deep Sloot, South Africa to find people in dire need, or in Jamaica. There are people right here in the Bronx where we live that are really experiencing tough times.
Tough times, indeed.
So I just try to be mindful of that. As much as I'm moved by being a world advocate, I know that there are people here that are really experiencing great hardship.
So, we're wrapping up in a few. How time flies when you're being informed, informed and having just, wonderful and intelligent conversation.
I know. But I feel like I could go another half hour.
I know. I know. But, I'm curious about your early beginnings. Where are you from? Where did you go to school? You buck your toe when you're little. What happened?
No, I was a perfect child.
Oh, dear.
Well, no. I'm from St. Andrew, Lawrence Tavern, and I spent the beginning part of my childhood actually over at Luke Lane, 99 Luke Lane, which is like a tenement area in Kingston.
That's fine.
And then I migrated here, lived in Poughkeepsie, and then to Yonkers, and then now in the Bronx.
Okay.
So my beginnings have just been, I was a mover, but most of my adult life is spent here in America.
And so you didn't buck your toe?
No.
I am disappointed.
I know.
So, you're married to, what's the name of the gentleman again?
Mr. Wendell Cargill, Mr. Chef Extraordinaire of Kula Runnings Restaurant.
A.K.A. Soji, yes.
Mr. Soji, yes, the coolest man in the Bronx. Doesn't say much, but he tries to do a lot in the community.
He tries to do a lot, and we appreciate him. I mean, he's a sponsor of my show. So, and I appreciate him so much. I tell people any day they don't hear me is because me not have nobody.
Oh, boy, I'm sure he's listening, so he will appreciate your sentiments.
Yes. But I want to find out, as we're wrapping up, what's next for you? What's next?
Oh, okay, great. I do want to use the opportunity to just share with you about our newest baby that we started in March of 2022, which is youth mentoring. So I believe strongly that the youth are the leaders of the next generation. And even as much as we know and gain in our educational, achievements, if we don't pass that knowledge on to the next generation, you're not preparing them and equipping them to meet the challenges of today's world. So we do youth mentoring over at 1785 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx, right across from Kula Runnings Restaurant, in an area that we call the Kula Runnings Jerk Center. But it's an area that we meet with young adults primarily from the hours of 6:30 to 9 p.m. It's just a couple hours on a Friday evening, and it's once a month. And we carve out that time, and we initially started it where we were leading the meetings as board members, just leading the meetings where we have a conversation with youth about whether it's, cooking, how to cook when they go out on their own, or it's about peer pressure, social media, and the impacts of the internet and all the different things, whether it's job readiness. We have really courageous conversations, and we've learned so much. And we've even involved parents, of course, to come and learn some tools of how do you relate, how do you communicate effectively with younger generation teens and, early 20s. So we unpack all of that in those sessions, and it's once per month. And I'm so excited because this Friday we'll have one coming up, and it's going to be led by two of the youth in the community. And I told them, listen, I'm going to take a back seat or a seat in the audience, and I'm going to let them just do their thing. And then, you know what? There's so much you can learn from someone half your age.
That is true.
They are not stupid. They have a voice, and, we're living in a world that is so digitally and technologically advanced that, I literally open my ears and I'm like, okay, what can I learn from them? And of course, there's opportunities for us to share with them because they don't know it all either. But it's just a wonderful experience. So I'm excited. It's this Friday. If anybody has any young people that they want to just kind of, be in an environment of mentoring, this is the place to be. It's just a couple hours. It's on a Friday, and then the food is sponsored after the meeting from Kula Runnings Restaurant because we use it as a time to really kind of interact as well. Community, don't isolate yourself. So that's one of the things that we advocate as well.
Alrighty, it has been such a pleasure. We learned so much more about you. Many of us have been over to the events when they're hosted by Cooler Runnings, and I've been to the mentorship session.
Yeah.
And I see the path that you are on, that trajectory that you're on, and the more people come together with that shared vision, it will be a blessing to those who need that. So as I'm wrapping up, there's a fun segment that I have for my guests, and I know you'll just ace it, so I don't have to worry myself about that.
I hope.
So I require of you one-word responses only.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
I believe so.
Nurse practitioner.
The way of the future.
You know what?
Oh, one-word responses only. Lord have mercy. Okay. Okay. Go do it again. Start over.
Okay. Nurse practitioner.
Impactful.
Service.
Eternal.
Pace University.
My alma mater. I'm being serious. Okay.
Okay.
Pace University. What's one word? Oh boy. Institution.
Okay. Husband.
Wonderful.
Cooler Runnings.
Portland.
Okay. Cargill Community Project.
Service.
Youth Mentorship.
Future.
Bronxwood International Church of God.
Church.
And finally, Dr. Keisha Ballantyne Cargill.
Unique.
Perfect. Sure. All right. Good job, Keisha.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. It was very impactful. We appreciate you, and we wish you all the best, and you continue to love people and do what you can with those who work alongside you for the people you care about. Amen. So thank you so much for joining.
The glory.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you for joining me. All right. Walk good.
All right. Enjoy your evening.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for the show this evening here inside the zone with yours truly, Lady D. The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know. In the city, you walk, drive, and reside. We had a great run. You notice how the show set up, though. So you get information. You even get little laughter that you can participate in. I tell you. And you meet people. Isn't that something? Yes, I'd like to thank you. And thanks to Cooler Runnings, my sponsor. I so appreciate. It has been a good evening. And so I'm going to go up now. May I go on up. May I go along up. I'd like to thank, of course, all those who spent the time to be with me here this evening from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. And also, I want to say thanks to those of you who always have my back. Those of you who are in my corner, I appreciate you. Thanks, Tony. So nice to see you. What a blessing. So thanks to everyone for tuning in. And as you know, my sponsor. So yes, may I come go up now? May I go on up? May I come go along up before they come find me and start switch me and let me have to skip? I used to skip, I tell you. So thank you, everyone. Have yourselves a good evening, everybody. Love, love, love. Mwah. I'm out of here.
Don't
Don't miss How Excellent, Judith Gale's birthday celebration and 8th album launch gala presentation, Saturday, December 9, featuring MC Liz Black, performances from Judith Gale and guests Dr. KJ, J-Bells, DJ Nicholas, a fashion show, 5-course meal, lots of giveaways and a prize for the best dressed male and female. What a celebration! Saturday, December 9 at Astoria World Manor. Cocktails at 6 p.m., showtime at 7 p.m. Contribution $110. Part proceeds in aid of the Judith Gale Ministries Foundation Limited, Jamaica. Visit eventbrite.com for tickets or call for more information. 516-789-7376 or 929-353-3961 or 347-645-3477. How Excellent with Judith Gale and Friends is sponsored by KGT Designs and Rentals, One of a Kind Realty, Tinkerbell's Luxurious Makeover, and CGA Immigration. How Excellent! Judith Gale's birthday celebration and 8th album launch gala event, Saturday, December 9 at Astoria World Manor. God must get the glory. See you there.
When you are hungry, come to Kulu Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Kulu Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Oh, plead my cause, oh Jah. I don't know Julex I represent for Linkage Radio. 104.5 FM. I deaf them.
New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon.